Okay, I'm here to finish out just signs and symptoms that I took note of before I really got help for ADHD and got diagnosed and all that good stuff. So I wrote down, different ones that I just share, like anxiety, pushing myself, just extra pressure, that kind of stuff. And then I wrote on here, when no one is watching and I'm working or trying to complete a task, my natural state is very fidgety and like all over the place and just wanting to bounce and feel like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do it all and all at once, and you can't really do that. And just trying to feel like in a high while I'm getting stuff done, because otherwise I get really bored and I feel like almost down and depressed, and it almost takes me to a state of like I can barely do this. My natural state is like that. Before I got diagnosed and started to do any somatic healing too. Much later, I realized that my body needed to go through healing process in order to slow down from all of that fidgeting and bouncing around feeling and wanting to stay high all the time, and knowing like that's not sustainable in the long run. You just can't like feel like that all the time. So otherwise I was like, yes, I can do whatever I want. I wrote, if I sit still, I'm not really still. My hands and fingers just keep going, and I keep just doing my legs, my feet, my toes, whatever it is. I do certain like habits, which I learned are called stimming, like where you're stimulating yourself naturally. You're trying to keep stimulated. Like I would like rub my hands and I would just smell different parts of my skin. Like while I was like, I just wanted to like all my senses. I would smell, I would want to taste something, I have a drink going. It sounds really ridiculous, but like it's like almost animalistic. I'm like smelling myself and like drinking and moving around. My hair, I wrote hands on my face, my hair, just constantly. And this is when I'm not in front of like a client. Obviously, I knew how to control myself if I was in front of somebody, but when I was working by myself, this was just like my natural state. I wrote, if someone's there watching, I am much more aware, and I try to seem calm in like a normal state of working, obviously. Like I wouldn't do that in front of someone else. They would be like, this lady's insane. I wrote, I'm emotionally hurt and sensitive and triggered at this point. I didn't write a date on this, but I know it was 2020, you guys. And the job that I had, and then, getting diagnosed, because I wrote like the first medication they put me on right here. Maybe it was January then. Or is this? Okay. I've experienced a lot over the years, and especially in the last year or so. So I've gone through another life transition and just had more responsibility and pressure and just critical people in my life, and a relationship that ended up from, satisfying me in a romantic, physical, sexual way, like that I had wanted so much. And then, putting that too much as an importance, and then it turning out to be really abusive and like emotionally, mentally, just really taxing and bad for me. And I still was the best mother I could be possibly, but it was like, oh my God, I could have been so much better. And it was like, I was there, but my son could feel what I was going through. Even if he couldn't see and know everything that was going on, he could feel it. And it took time later to help him kind of walk and step and start healing from that too. And it's like that just really tore me apart later, knowing that I could have controlled that better. Like I did the best that I could at the time. And then I wrote, it's pushing me over the edge emotionally, mentally, sometimes, just often. However, I've made some great changes. There was a lot of other signs and symptoms that I talked to the psychiatrist about, like having issues with my driver's license, speeding tickets, they ask about legal trouble, so I mentioned that, and getting divorced, and like we talked about that, just family issues, working late, sometimes having unfinished work because I'm going above and beyond trying to do too much, or I'm staying late, and in order to stay late I have to like take, longer break here to keep myself going on a second, third wind, and which is not normal. People don't normally do that, and like, why was I doing that? Why was I not further in my career, questioning my career choices, just trying and hopping around to different industries and different job roles, trying to find the right fit for me to be able to escalate and progress with. And I had a lot of troubles with that. I had issues with my finances. I would be doing well sometimes and think, okay, I'm going to go to the next step here, and something would always happen and it would take me back, and I'm like, how can I get around this? It seemed like everyone else was doing well with money and saving money and preparing for their retirement in the future, and I felt kind of like a child compared to everyone else. Like, what am I missing here? But I really could pride myself in staying in the moment and enjoying life and being able to bring a zest and just a fullness of life wherever I went, and I was proud of that. If I had to pick one or the other, I was like, I pick me. I pick my strengths and who I am. And then I wrote, are my symptoms heightened also because of hormonal changes, or is it just the circumstances? So I began to question that and realized that that had a hand in it my entire life. I had hormonal conditions and influxes, and nobody knew quite how to answer that or what to do about that. So I'm just sharing all my notes and stuff from my life, and if you guys have any you want to share, questions, or anything that you found out with talk therapy through the psychiatrist, please, I am all ears. And I will share the first medication that they tried with me. It was a stimulant, and it was called Concerta, I guess, which is the brand name for Ritalin, which was like the most popular one they would put children on at the time, years ago. And it was 18 milligrams to start off with. And I know we went up from there, because like, I think we went up to 50 or 60 milligrams just because it wasn't quite enough. And then we would reevaluate after a few weeks. And so I went through that process before we switched to like a completely different medication. And it worked pretty well. It worked better than nothing. And I think there was just something a little off, because I would get these headaches like in the afternoon, and I was like, and I could attribute it to the medication. So it would work for a while, and then something would go off, and then the next medication they put me on worked a lot better for a while as well. I won't get into that, but I'll share that and see if any of that resonates with you guys. And yeah, hope you're having a great week.